Julie Chrisley's loneliness and sorrow in jail were shared when her daughter Savannah Chrisley read from a few of her mom's jail letters. The foremost comment of stain was how much she missed her husband, Chrisley knows best star Todd Chrisley. Both Todd and Julie are investing time in partitioned states and jails after their feelings for bank and assess extortion, surrendering themselves in January 2023. Todd is serving a decreased 10-year sentence in Pensacola, Florida, whereas Julie's diminished 5-year stretch is in Lexington, Kentucky. One of the letters Savannah perused from on the most recent scene of her Unlocked podcast was composed January 17, 2023, in no time after Julie's sentence started. In it, she point by point her last minutes. Sometime recently, she and her spouse would be isolated for a long time. I knew my life was approximately to alter until the end of time, Savannah studied. My spouse and I stood in our bedroom right before our supplication seat and said our farewells. We embraced, we kissed, and we supplicated sometime recently. He strolled out the entryway heading to Pensacola, Florida with Savannah, Grayson, and Scratch, she proceeded. This would be the final time I would talk to my spouse confront to confront. Julie said that they talked on the phone on his way to Pensacola, and one more time sometime recently, she surrendered herself in Lexington. What a calming thought. The man I had lived with, raised a family with, and cherished more than life itself is presently incidentally dwelling in Florida, and me in Kentucky, she composed. She shared how her intellect was battling to handle what was happening to her indeed because it was happening. She composed, I may not wrap my head around the fact that I was getting to be isolated from my spouse and children for what appears like a lifetime. We turned onto the street that the jail is found, passing white vans with paparazzi in them, reviewed Julie. My family said their farewells, and I strolled into prison with nothing but the dress on my back. Agreeing to Savannah, each one of Julie's letters emphasizes how much she misses her spouse. It was extraordinary seeing the kids and mother and father this week, but I miss Todd so terrible. I miss his voice. I miss being able to lay in bed next to each other. I miss my individual, she composed in another letter. I can fair feel her harmed through these messages, and to fair think around how diverse life is presently, nearly a year and a half afterward, said Savannah, but like usually her life presently. And it's so distinctive than clearly what it was sometime recently. In fair the passionate angle of it of having to miss your family so much. Making it indeed harder for Julie, in a few ways, is the reality that the family's fame made its way into the jail. So they're continuously talking almost him, which I cherish, but it still makes me pitiful too. Julie and Todd have kept on keep up their guiltlessness. Indeed, after they were found blameworthy in 2022. They were arraigned in eminent 2019 on 12 tallies of bank fraud, wire extortion, trick, and assess avoidance. The last mentioned was cleared in October 2019.